Hi everybody. Wanted to just touch on the spiritual war that we're all fighting. Many Christians, well, especially non-believers anyway, find it very difficult to love their enemy and pray for them and bless them. But part of the revelation, I suppose, of the gospel is that we're not fighting against human beings. We're not fighting against flesh and blood. That there are supernatural, malevolent beings that want our ill and spend a lot of time, if not all their time, working out ways on an individual basis with all of us to tempt us and make us fall into sin and unforgiveness, and to make us resent and be bitter against people who are listening to them, these devils themselves. It's a revelation when you realise that even the most evil person who's ever lived is not actually, even though they're responsible for their own sin, they have been influenced and tempted by and cajoled, almost tormented perhaps, into their evil behaviour. Whether they've done something against you that you took offence to, or something physical which is, understandably evil. Our fight as Christians is still not against human beings. Our fight is against the spiritual wickedness in high places that is causing people to even think about this stuff. And that is why, one of the reasons why, prayer is so important in our lives. It's the one true weapon we have. We can't sit back and resent and be in unforgiveness and be bitter against people who are perpetrating evil. They are victims. Let that sink in for a minute, because even like a paedophile, rapist, murderer, or I don't know, try and think of someone who you really despise. A lot of people despise Hillary Clinton at the moment. Sure, she's the same as the other presidential candidate in the sense that they're both led by evil spirits because they don't know Christ. It's only people who know Christ who are led by the Holy Spirit and are pure, well, they should be anyway. But Hillary Clinton, for example, she's got a Jezebel spirit, but she's a victim. And we need to understand this in order to be able to pray effectively for our world. It's pointless praying against people, because God will never honour that. Even if it's ISIS, you can't pray against individual people. It's the spirits behind the people that you need to target. And that's the point. We fight a spiritual war, not a war with weapons and guns and physical, bullets and whatever. Our ammunition and the way that we make a change in this world is through spiritual weapons, through love, through persistence and patience, through like physical manifestations of prayer, like fasting and intercession and worship. Worship is a powerful weapon against the enemy, and no one's immune to these spiritual wicked beings. Even Jesus was tempted, because Jesus is Jesus, he's the Son of God. He didn't fall into their traps, but we are all susceptible to falling into those traps because our hearts are deceitful and wicked, and unless Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God, and his Spirit lives in you, and you're in communion with the Father who is in control of all this, then chances are you're going to fail to love, to be patient, to have joy, to manifest the Spirit gifts in the world, and to do the things that are required of the children of God, which is to love and bless even your enemies. And that doesn't mean loving and blessing devils. Jesus is talking about human beings, the victims of evil spirits, who are controlling those human beings who don't know any better because they don't know Christ, and all they've known all their lives is hurt, resentment, rejection, torment, basically. Until they get released by Christ, then they're obviously going to be like that, usually manifesting the wickedness that was perpetrated against them when they were young or something like that. So I just wanted to encourage you to pray against spiritual wickedness and not human beings. God bless you.